just about to start my workout for today. This workout is going to be split up into two parts. Part one is a 30-minute AMRAP, A-M-R-A-P, that stands for as many rounds as possible, or some people will say as many reps as possible, but either way, we're going to be doing a short circuit. I will show you the circuit before we begin, and then we're just going to repeat that circuit as many times as we can while my timer counts down 30 minutes. There is a part two. However, I am including this workout on my playlist of 30-minute workouts. So if you chose this workout from that playlist because you specifically just want to do a 30-minute workout today, that's fine. You can just do part one with me, and that's your 30 minutes. If you want to continue on and do part two with me, I'm going to be using a set of dumbbells for part two. So if you have a set of dumbbells, definitely go ahead and get those ready. If you don't have dumbbells, a kettlebell will work, or you can look for household items that will work. So for example, a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles will absolutely work for weight. You can fill them with water if you want, or if you want to make them a little bit heavier, you could fill them with something like uncooked rice or dried beans, maybe kitty litter, or some powdered laundry detergent, something like that. If you would prefer to skip straight ahead to the workout, there are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you want to use the chapter markers, you can skip straight ahead to the workout. But if you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So we'll start with part one, which is our 30-minute AMRAP. You can see I have my sandbag here. Now my sandbag is filled with about 25 pounds of sand, which is a good weight for me. However, you may need to use something lighter or heavier. That's going to depend on your strength and on your level of fitness. It's also going to depend on what you have available to you and how hard you are looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weight and make the decision that is best for you. If you do not have a sandbag, you may be able to fashion something similar to a sandbag by using a backpack or a duffel bag. A duffel bag would definitely work for this. You just need to fill it with some sort of weight. So my sandbag is filled with playground sand. If I remember correctly, I think that what I bought when I bought the playground sand that's in here now is a big 50-pound bag. Don't quote me on that, but to the best of my recollection, I want to say the bag, it's like a big bag that weighs 50 pounds. So if you're strong enough that you would like to fill your sandbag or your duffel bag with 50 pounds of sand, great. You can buy one of those. You can put the whole bag of sand in your duffel bag. Don't open the bag. You'll get sand everywhere. Just keep it in the bag that it comes in. And if they make smaller bags, I'm not sure, but if they make like a 20 or 25 pound bag, that would be perfect as well, because then you can just keep it as is. Don't open the bag of sand, just put the whole bag of sand inside your backpack or your duffel bag, and that would work great. Because what's in here is not just loose sand. The sandbag comes with a separate little like bag to hold the sand. So that your sand isn't just loose in here. So another thing you can do is you could fill a duffel bag or backpack with like bags of rice or beans or kitty litter or something like that. Just make sure that whatever you're putting in there, I would advise that you don't open it and have it loose inside the duffel bag or the backpack. Have it in some other type of container. You want the weight to be able to shift around. That's part of the appeal of using a sandbag. That's one of the selling points, is that the weight is unstable. So it's a little bit different than using a kettlebell or a dumbbell, because the sand inside the sandbag is able to shift around, and it causes all of the little stabilizer muscles in your core to have to be firing constantly to kind of adjust your balance as you're using the weight. So you want to use something that once you put it inside your duffel bag, will be able to shift around. But you also, I'm not recommending to take a duffel bag and just dump a bunch of loose like rice or dried beans or sand in there. So hopefully that's clear. But if you're not able to fill a backpack or a duffel bag with some sort of weight, that's fine. You can, you don't need to use a sandbag for part one, but I'm going to be using my sandbag. All right, let's go ahead and get into the actual exercises. The only other thing I'm using in part one is my jump rope. So if you have a jump rope, go ahead and get that ready. We're using it today, just as we do almost every day. So if you follow my workouts regularly, or you plan to, it is highly recommended that you invest in a jump rope. You can get a decent jump rope for like, I don't know, probably 10, 15 bucks. I've certainly found them before for 10, 15 dollars, and they're fine. If you want a good jump rope like the ones I use, I always have a link and a coupon code down in the description box below the video. So if you're curious about the jump ropes I use, there will be a link in the description box, and if you click on that link and use my coupon code, you'll save 10% on the jump rope. But they're really good quality jump ropes. That's why I use them. I really like them, but they're a bit pricier than what you could find elsewhere. So if you want to just invest like $10, $15 in a jump rope, that's fine. It doesn't have to be the one I use, but if you're interested in the one I use, the link is down below. Don't forget to use the coupon code. You'll save an additional 10%. But I have absolutely in the past bought jump ropes at like Burlington Coat Factory. I found a decent one there, an adjustable jump rope I found at Burlington Coat Factory years ago for like, $10, $15. So I just recommend investing in a jump rope because I do use my jump rope in almost every workout these days pretty much, and it's just such a great piece of equipment. I think it is arguably the most effective piece of exercise equipment you can own. And as far as value, I can't think of anything that comes close when you really can get a decent jump rope for 10, 15 bucks and then think about how beneficial it is. So definitely consider getting a jump rope. If you can't jump rope, you have low ceilings, or you just lack coordination, and but you still want to follow my workouts regularly, they do sell jump ropes without the rope. I don't own one, I can't show you. I just know this is a thing that exists. So if you wanted to get one of those, again, I don't think it would be a bad investment. You would get a ton of use out of it if you plan on following my workouts regularly, because again, we do jump rope almost every day. However, my recommendation would be to save your money, because if you're holding on to handles just to jump over an imaginary rope, that's fine. If you want to do that, go ahead and do it. But I really think you can hold on to imaginary handles while you do that. So my personal recommendation would be to not buy one of those, because I don't think that the handles offer anything of value. But if it helps you to have something in your hands, then absolutely go ahead and get something like that, because you will get a ton of use out of it. But if you don't have a jump rope, but you still want to do the jump rope sections with me, that's what you can do. You can just pretend to be jumping over an imaginary rope. You can hold on to handles to do that, or you can pretend to hold on to imaginary handles. Either way works for me. So when I jump rope, I'm always just kind of doing this, jogging in place. But any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. So if you are more comfortable jumping with your feet together, either with a real rope or just pretending to jump over an imaginary rope like that, it's fine. Jump with your feet together. If you're really good at jump rope, feel free to do something a little bit more challenging, like high knees or jump rope jacks. It doesn't matter. Any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. The only important thing is that we're counting revolutions of the jump rope. We're going to be doing sets of 300, meaning 300 revolutions of the jump rope. I'm going to be attempting to do my sets unbroken, but you can break them up. You can do 3 sets of 100 or 6 sets of 50, whatever you need to do. And if 300 reps at a time is too much for you, you can cut it in half. Just do what works for you, but that's what we're going to be doing for jump rope. So if you don't want to pantomime jumping rope, you can just substitute with about 2 to 3 minutes of some other type of cardio exercise while I'm jumping rope. So you could just jog in place for a couple minutes, or you could count 1, 2, 3, 4. It's essentially the same thing I'm doing when I'm jumping rope anyway. You could do high knees, jumping jacks, you could jump side to side, you could do mountain climbers, pendulum. Any kind of cardio exercise you want to do while I'm jumping rope is fine. Each one of those sets of 300 with the jump rope is going to take me about 2 or 3 minutes. So just 2 or 3 minutes of any kind of cardio exercise you want to do. If you have like an elliptical or a treadmill or an exercise bike or a Stairmaster, something like that, you could hop on one of those while I'm jumping rope. So again, 2 or 3 minute bursts with each time I'm jumping rope. You can be doing that. You can do up and down the steps, or like if you have stairs in your home or outside your home. If you live in an apartment complex, you can do up and down the stairs at your apartment complex. Or if there's a local beach or hiking trail or park that has steps, you could do up and down the steps there. A dirt track around the park, you could run. So 3 minutes, I don't know, how much is that for some people? Maybe like a half a mile. For some people, maybe a quarter of a mile. So it depends on how fast you run and how long you want those little cardio bursts to be. They don't have to be exactly 3 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing sets of 300 with my jump rope. So that's not gonna take me exactly 3 minutes on the nose, but somewhere in that neighborhood. If you wanna take this workout to the field at your local high school, if you have access, you could do around the track, once or twice around the track, or you could do up and down the bleachers. So just get creative and use what's available to you, but that's your equipment-free substitution if you don't have a jump rope. Now let's get back to the sandbag. So I'm going to be doing 2 exercises with my sandbag. The first exercise, I'm going to be doing a push-up on the sandbag, and then I'm going to be doing a sandbag clean and press, squat and press. All right, so before we get into that, let's just talk about the correct form for push-ups and squats. So starting with your squat, since I'm already standing up. The first thing you want to do is to visualize tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets, because you want your shoulders back and down. You also want your chest to stay lifted nice and high. And then you want to tighten up your abs. So if you imagine someone is about to punch you in the stomach, think about how you would brace for that impact. That's how tight you want your abs to be. So once your shoulders are back and down and your chest is lifted nice and high and your abs are nice and tight, the next thing you're going to do is push your booty back. Pretend that you are trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. That's going to keep your back flat and the weight in your heels. You actually should be able to pick up your toes. All of your body weight should be in your heels. So if you pretend that you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, that's gonna help you to do that, all right? So then from this position is where you can sink down into your squat. So chest is lifted high, back is flat, weight is in the heels. And now after you have sunk as low as you're going to sink, so do your best. When I'm holding onto my sandbag, I'm not gonna be squatting so low, but if you are able to get your booty down below your knees, great, you can do that. I'm going to be coming about here. I'm gonna have my thighs about parallel to the ground because I'm going to be holding onto my sandbag and I'm going to be pressing the sandbag up overhead. So whether you're adding weight to your squats or not, do your best to see if you can at least get your thighs parallel to the ground. If you are able to get your booty down below your knees and you want to do that, great. But work to your own level. If you cannot get your thighs parallel to the ground, then just sink as deep into the squat as you can without sacrificing your form. So make sure your shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted high, abs are tight. Push the booty back. Keep your back flat, keep the weight in your heels, sink as deep into the squat as you can, and then when you're ready to come up, you're going to actively press your heels into the ground, as though you were trying to push the ground away from you, and then come back up to your standing position. All right, so whatever squat variation you end up doing, that's the proper form for your squat. So make sure that you're minding your form, back flat, weight in the heels. So next, let's quickly go over the correct form for your push-ups. So you want to start by making sure that you are in a perfect plank position. So make sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, and then you want to make sure that you're not kind of sinking down into your shoulders like this. Shoulders should be away from the ears. So actively press the ground away from you like this, and also make sure that you're not allowing your hips or your belly to drop down. Again, you want to tighten up those abs. So imagine someone is about to punch you in the stomach. Tighten up those abs like you're bracing for that impact, and then use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. If your hips are slightly elevated like this, that's not terrible. Don't worry about it too much, because in that position your back is flat. You're not going to hurt yourself doing the push-ups that way, and it'll actually make your push-up a bit easier. So don't worry about it too much, but it is something to be aware of because that's not ideally the position you want to be in. Ideally, you want your hips lifted high, but you want your body to be in one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So instead of having your hips up here, you want them in line so that you have that one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. All right, and then from here, you want to make sure that your head is in line with your spine. So don't let your head drop down like this. Also, do not overcorrect by hyperextending your neck and jutting your chin out. Just keep your neck in a nice neutral position. Make sure your head is in line with your spine. Now, once you've found your perfect plank position, nothing moves, all right? It is just a moving plank. So your body's going to stay perfectly still in that position. And you're going to bend your elbows and lower your chest as low to the ground as you can. If you cannot get your chest all the way down to the ground, that's fine. Just shorten up your range of motion. So as soon as you've gotten your chest as low to the ground as you can without breaking that one straight line from your heels to your shoulders, that's your push-up. You're going to reverse the movement by actively pressing your hands into the ground. Visualize pushing the ground away from you and return to your plank position. So if you're only able to come down halfway, that's fine. That's your push-up. What you're going for is to get your chest all the way down to the ground like this before you push yourself back up. But just make sure that if you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the ground without breaking that one straight line from your heels to your shoulders, that you're not trying to kind of trick yourself into thinking that you're getting all the way down by lowering your hips or your belly to the ground like this. Or, this is a very, very common mistake, by lowering your forehead down to the ground. All right? It's fine if your chest doesn't touch the ground. What's not fine is lowering your hips or your belly to the ground or lowering your forehead to the ground. You don't want to break that one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. And if you are doing the push-ups from your knees, all of the same principles apply. The only difference is that instead of having a straight line from your heels to your shoulders the entire time, your straight line is going to be from your knees to your shoulders. So you again want to start with your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Your abs are tight, your hips are lifted high, your shoulders are away from your ears, and your head is in line with your spine. So if you find that you're sinking into your shoulders like this, press the ground away from you and keep your shoulders away from your ears. If you find that your back is arching and you're letting your hips or your belly drop down, tighten up your abs. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. If you find that your head is drooping like this, lift your head so that it is in line with your spine. Keep it in a nice neutral position. Don't let your head bob up and down. Remember, nothing should be moving. Once you have found your perfect plank position, nothing moves. You're going to bend your elbows and lower your chest as low to the ground as you can. So if you can get your chest all the way down to the ground, great. Then you're going to press your palms into the ground, push the ground away from you and return to your starting position. If you cannot get your chest all the way down to the ground and you can only come halfway, that's fine. Do not compensate by lowering your hips or your belly to the ground, all right? Do not compensate by lowering your forehead to the ground. Instead, just shorten up your range of motion. So if you can only come down this far, that's fine. Don't break that one straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Just press the ground away and return to your starting position. All right, just keep reminding yourself it's a moving plank. So once you found your perfect plank position, stay still. The only thing you're doing is moving up and down, but you don't want to break that one straight line either from your heels to your shoulders or from your knees to your shoulders. So now that we have covered the proper form for push-ups and squats, let me tell you that if you don't have a sandbag or something similar that you can use, you really can substitute with any burpee variation, with or without weight. And your burpee variation may or may not include a push-up, that's fine. But if it does include a push-up, just make sure that you are minding your form on the push-up. So that's why I wanted to go through those 2 points with you. I am also going to be adding a sandbag clean and an overhead press. to my burpee variation. So very quickly, the sandbag clean. Again, you're going to start with your shoulders back and down. Your chest is lifted high, your abs are strong and tight and engaged. You're gonna push your booty back as though you are trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. Your back stays flat, the weight stays in your heels. There's a soft bend to your knees. We're not squatting yet, but you do want a soft bend to your knees. We're going to hinge at the hips. So as you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, think about trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. So your spine is nice and elongated. Your back is flat, the weight is in your heels. We're hinging at the hips. Soft bend to the knees. You're going to grab the sandbag by the handles. And now again, you're going to actively press your heels into the ground to stand, hinging at the hips to stand. And as you come up to stand, you're going to flip the sandbag up and over so that it lands in your elbows like this. And then from here, I'm going to press the sandbag up overhead. So plant those feet into the ground, abs are tight, soft bend to the knees. You're just going to straighten your elbows and press the weight up overhead. Now reverse the movement, bend the elbows and bring the sandbag back down in front of your chest, all right? So let's put all of that together, and that will be the burpee variation that I'm doing with my sandbag. And then from there, if you do not have a sandbag, remember that any burpee variation you want to do will work. But here's what I'm doing. So I'm going to start by holding my sandbag in my hands like this. And I'm just holding the sandbag in front of me like this. I have two handles that face this way, so my palms are facing each other as I'm holding onto my sandbag. So then from that position, I'm going to bend down and put the sandbag down on the ground in front of me. I'm still holding onto the sandals, the handles. I'm not holding onto sandals. I guess you could hold onto sandals if you want, but I think they would get in the way. So I recommend holding onto the handles of your bag as opposed to holding onto a set of sandals, but hey, you do you. Now from here, I'm going to jump my feet back so that I'm in a plank position. If you need to, or if you prefer to, you can step your feet back one at a time. That is absolutely up to you. I'm going to jump my feet back at the same time like this. And now I'm going to do a push-up with my hands on the sandbag. So I'm going to just lower my chest down to the bag, and then pressing my knuckles into the bag to push myself back up. Now again, you can step your feet in one at a time if you would like. I'm going to jump my feet in at the same time. And now I'm going to do that sandbag clean. So I'm hinging at the hips. I'm not gonna let go of my handles. I already have the handles of my sandbag. I'm going to press my heels into the ground and hinge at the hips to stand. And I'm going to bring the sandbag with me, flip it up and over, and catch it in my shoulders, in my elbows. And now I'm gonna press the weight up overhead, bring it back down in front of my chest. Now I'm gonna do my squat, so pushing the booty back, like I'm trying to touch the wall behind me with my booty. My back is gonna stay flat. The weight is going to stay in my heels as I sink down into my squat. Elbows to knees, or elbows to thighs, I guess, on the squat. Press the heels into the ground to stand, and then press the bag up overhead one more time. Bag comes back down in front of the chest, flip it back down in front of you, return to the starting position. So that's my burpee variation. Let's put a couple of reps all together so that you can see the flow of it. So starting with the sandbag in front of me, I'm holding on to the handles that face this way. So my palms are facing each other, and that's the grip I'm going to have on my sandbag throughout the duration of the exercise. I'm going to bend down, put the sandbag on the ground in front of me, jump the feet back, push up on the sandbag. Now jump the feet in and clean the sandbag, press it up overhead, squat and press, and return to the starting position. So that's one rep. So one more, a little faster. Back goes down, jump the feet back, push up on the sandbag, jump the feet in, sandbag, clean and press, squat and press. All right, so that is our first exercise And if you don't have a sandbag, any burpee variation will work. So the last exercise in part 1, our 30-minute AMRAP section of the workout, is going to be a side lunge variation. So let's just go over your body weight modification first, so that if you don't have anything that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to your workout, this is what you can do. Just a side lunge with a calf raise, all right? Super simple. So again, with your lunges, very similar to the squats, you're going to start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Shoulders are back and down. Your chest is lifted high. You're going to tighten up your abs, super tight, like someone's about to punch you in the stomach. You're gonna brace for impact. So once your abs are super tight and your chest is lifted high, shoulders are away from the ears, you're going to step out to the side and sink into your lunge. As you sink into the lunge, you are again going to push the booty back. So visualize trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty as you try to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. Back stays flat, weight is in the heel of this lunging foot. If you can reach down and tap the toes. However, if you can only reach your toes by rounding your back, don't tap your toes. The important thing is that your back stays flat and the weight stays in your heel. So you want to sink into this lunge. If you can't tap the toes, you can tap the knee, that's fine. Then once you're as deep into the lunge as you can go, you're going to, with control, lift this heel of your lunging foot and then place it down with control. All right, so don't drop it down, but control the movement as you lift your heel, and then control the movement as you lower your heel. Then press the heel into the ground, push the ground away from you to stand and return to your starting position. We are going to be doing a total of 30 reps. So you can alternate sides with each rep. That's what I'm going to be doing. If you would prefer, you can stay on one side for 15 reps. That might be easier if you're not adding weight. And then switch sides for your next 15 reps. That is totally up to you. But that's your body weight modification. I'm going to be doing that with my sandbag over my shoulder. So if you have a sandbag or something similar and you would like to add weight and add difficulty to this exercise, all you're going to do is start with your sandbag in front of you. And now again, just like we did with our sandbag clean, you're going to not squat down, but you're going to keep a soft bend to your knees as you hinge at the hips to reach down and grab your sandbag. So yes, my knees are bending, but it's not a squat. I'm really hinging at the hips to grab my bag, okay? So again, just make sure that your back is flat and the weight is in your heels. Pay attention to your form even as you're just bending down to pick up the sandbag, all right? And then you're gonna press your heels into the ground to hinge at the hips and stand. As you come up, you're going to bring the sandbag with you and throw it over one shoulder like this. So now the side that the sandbag's on, that's going to be my lunging foot. So my sandbag is on this side. That means I'm going to step to this side with my lunge, sink down to the lunge, lift my heel, and now press the heel into the mat to stand. I'm alternating sides with each rep. So now I'm going to throw my sandbag down, and I'm going to add in a little jump tuck. So you can add the jump tuck or not. All we're doing is jumping up and tucking the knees as high, trying to get your knees as high as you can towards your chest, like this. Make sure that you are landing softly on the balls of your feet. Make sure that as you come down from your jump tuck, you're not landing on your heel or flat on your foot. You want to land softly on the balls of your feet and then roll through the foot to absorb the shock, okay? So if you have bad knees or for whatever reason, if you don't want to add the jump tuck, you can just eliminate it, that's fine. You could also just add a couple of marches if you want, an impact-free modification, that's fine as well, but I'm going to be adding a jump tuck. If you want to increase the difficulty and you want to jump, but the jump tuck is too difficult, you can just jump up, that's absolutely fine, but I'm going to be adding a jump tuck, okay? So now other side, let's put a couple of reps together faster so you can see the flow of it. So I'm going to tuck my shoulder blades into my back pockets. My shoulders are back and down. My chest is lifted high, my abs are tight. I'm going to push my booty back, keeping my back flat, and the weight in my heels, and keeping a soft bend to my knees as I hinge at the hips to grab my sandbag. Now I'm going to press the ground away with my heels, hinge at the hips to stand, and as I stand, the sandbag comes with me. Now I'm going to throw the sandbag over the opposite shoulder, and now the sandbag is on this side, so that means that I'm lunging to this side. So step to the side, sink down into that lunge, making sure the back is flat, weight is in the heel. With control, I'm gonna lift that heel, then place it down with control. Press the heel into the mat or into the ground to stand. Return to my starting position. Throw the bag down in front of me and jump tuck. So jumping as high as I can, driving my knees up as high as I can, and then landing softly on the balls of my feet. Other side. So bend down. Grab the sandbag, toss it over your shoulder, lunge to the side, lift the heel, lower the heel. Press the heel into the ground to stand, throw the bag down, jump tuck. Alternating sides. Throw the sandbag over the other shoulder, lunge to the side, lift the heel, back to the starting position, throw the bag down, jump tuck. So that's it. That is all 3 exercises for part 1. If you know me at all, you know the way my brain works at all, you know that I love symmetry and I love patterns. So today's workout is brought to you by the number 3. So everything is going to be 3s. We're doing 3 exercises in part 1. We're doing 3 reps of our burpee variation. Then we're doing 30 reps of lunges, and then we're doing 300 reps of jump rope. And we're going to do that as many times as we can make it through that circuit for 30 minutes, okay? So that's our little circuit. We're going to be actually doing the burpees in between the other 2 exercises. So I'm going to start with 3 burpees, then I'm going to do my 30 lunges, then before I get to jump rope, I'm going to do another 3 reps of burpees, then my 300 reps of jump rope, and then we will continue that for 30 minutes. All right, so that's part 1. Part 2, there are again 3 exercises. We are going to be doing 30 reps of each exercise, and we're going to do that 3 times as quickly as you can without sacrificing your form. And that's the workout. So as far as part 2 goes, I'm going to show you those exercises when we get there because they're really simple, basic exercises, and I think a lot of you might not even be doing part 2 with me. And it's getting really hot out here, and I want to get into the workout. So let's go ahead and start part 1. I will walk you through the exercises for part 2 when we get there. Like I said, they're super simple, basic exercises. So get a couple of dumbbells ready for part 2 if you want to continue on, and then we'll go through those exercises when we get to part 2. But that's the format, that's all the exercises, that's how everything fits together. Please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to share my entire workout with you from start to finish, every single rep. So watch me do it. Read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, please just ask. I'm right here to answer questions. If you have any doubts about how to do these exercises that we're doing today with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions, if you need to see beginner modifications, again, I'm right here. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. It's very important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of the exercises. So please make sure that you understand the movement and you know how to do the exercises correctly. If you have any questions, just ask. I'm right here to help. It's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me, and I'm always here to help facilitate that. That's why I take so much time to do a full tutorial before the workout and explain and demonstrate all of the exercises. That's why I take extra time to walk you through options for how you can modify the exercises if you don't have access to the equipment that I'm using. I didn't take a lot of time to go over beginner modifications today, so if you need any further help with beginner modifications, again, I am right here to help with that. It's really important that you understand that even if you can't do the exercises the way I'm doing them, you can still do them. You can absolutely do this workout right along with me. You just may need to modify some of the exercises. So again, just don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. And just one final thing before we get started, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, please make sure you're going at your own pace. So do not sacrifice your form for speed. If you're faster than I am, great, be faster than I am, as long as you're not losing anything off of your form. If you find that you're just racing through the exercises because you want to go fast for the sake of going fast, but your form is getting sloppy, I would like you to just take a breather, slow down your breathing, slow down your heart rate for a second, refocus your energy on your proper form. And just maybe slow down your pace a little bit, but make sure that you're minding your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed and work to your own level. So modify where you need to, reduce the amount of reps if you need to, reduce the amount of weight if you need to, drop the weight altogether if you need to, okay? Just make sure it's your workout, so you have to make the decision that's best for you. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and start this workout, grab your sandbag if you have one. If not, maybe a backpack or a duffel bag filled with some sort of weight. And if you don't have anything that's going to work for weight, remember you do not need to add weight. You have your equipment-free substitutions. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you're jumping rope with me today. If you are sticking around for part 2, get a set of dumbbells ready. If I didn't mention it earlier, my dumbbells weigh 10 pounds a piece. That is for reference, and for reference only. Again, you may need to use something lighter or heavier. That is going to depend on your strength, on your level of fitness, what you have available to you, and how hard you're looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. But if you think you're going to want to stick around and do part 2 with me, go ahead and get your dumbbells ready. We are using them for part 2, and if you don't have dumbbells, a kettlebell will work, or household items will work. So grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles, fill them with water, uncooked rice, dried beans, something like that. You can even just grab a couple of cans of soup from the pantry. Get creative, use your space, use what's available to you, but if you want to stick around for part 2, go ahead and get something ready that you can use for weight, either dumbbells or household items. Take a minute to make sure you're good and warmed up before we begin. It is never a good idea to jump into this workout or any workout with cold muscles. That's when injuries are likely to happen. I don't want anyone straining or pulling anything, so please take a couple of minutes before we begin to warm up. And once you are good and warmed up, let's get started. All right, so when you're ready, here we go. Part 1 is a 30-minute AMRAP. So I have my timer set to count down 30 minutes. Let me just get my watch going. And now we are starting, as always, with a 10-second rest interval, just so that we have a few seconds to get ready and we don't lose anything off of our 30-minute work interval. We are starting with our burpee variations, 3 reps. So I'm going to be doing a push-up on the sandbag, plus a sandbag clean and press, squat and press. So push-up on the sandbag, clean and press, squat and press. 3 reps. That's 3. So now our side lunge variation. I'm doing a weighted side lunge. So throw the sandbag over the shoulder, lunge to the side, lift the heel, back to center, throw the foot down, jump tuck. Alternating sides. So throw the sandbag over the other shoulder, lunge to the other side, lift the heel, pull the bag down, jump tuck. That's 2, we're going to 30, so do your best. That's 10 for me. Don't rest if you don't need to. Just make sure you're not losing anything off of your form. Rest longer if you need to. Only continue when you feel that you're capable of doing so with good form. So when you're ready, here we go. Let's start on another 10. 20 for me. I have to do another 10 of those. Then we're gonna do another set of 3 burpees. Whatever burpee variation you're doing. And then we'll finish up with our jump rope. 300 reps of jump rope, and that's round 1. I'm just gonna keep going, see what we can do. So we can do 3 rounds in 30 minutes, probably not quite, but that's what I'm gonna shoot for. All right, get as close to 3 rounds as I can. So first, another 10 lunges. It's 25, just 5 more. Six. $27. $28. It's 29. Last one. That's 30. Last exercise is jump rope, but first we're gonna sneak in just 3 more burpees. Okay, we're almost finished with round 1. Just have to do 300 revolutions of the jump rope. I'm gonna try to do all 300 reps without stopping or tripping if I can. You can break them up into 3 sets of 100, 6 sets of 50, whatever you need to do. If you trip over your jump rope, it's fine. You do not have to go back and start the whole set over. Just take a breath. Do your best to let it go and get right back into it. Pick up your count where you left off. All right? So when you're ready, we're counting 300 revolutions with the jump rope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Keep going. tripped on rep like 60, so I'm gonna pick up my count at 60. So 1, 2, all right. Starting over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 100. I'm halfway there. I have to do another 150 reps, but I keep tripping. It's getting really frustrating, so I'm gonna take a few seconds to breathe. Try to let go of the frustration. I'm just gonna pick up where I left off, picking up my count at 150. Just do your best. It's gonna be one of those days. All right, 80 more to go. Oh my God. I'm so frustrated. 40 more reps. Picking up my count at 260. That's 300. That was incredibly frustrating. I'm only on pace to complete 2 full rounds, and I was hoping to get close to 3 rounds, so I'm not happy. But like I said, you just have to kind of, this is what I have to give today. This is my best today. Your best is always good enough. So I just have to let my best be good enough and try not to let the frustration dictate my mindset moving forward and sabotage the entire rest of my workout. We still have 15 minutes left. Let's do at least 1 more full round. Try to clean it up and at least get started on a 3rd round, even though I won't finish one. So when you're ready, here we go. 3 burpees. Thirty lunges. That's 10 for me. Just like I did in round 1, I'm breaking these up into 3 sets of 10. Just trying my best to keep the rest breaks as short as I can. If you don't need to rest, you don't have to. And remember, you should be going at your own pace. So if you need a longer rest break, take it. Only come back when you feel that you're capable of continuing with good form. So right now, I'm gonna try for another 10, more or less unbroken if I can. It's 15, halfway there. That's 20. If I really push and I can string together a clean set of 300 with my jump rope, I should definitely be able to at least finish round 2 and hopefully at least get to a few lunges into round 3. I'm gonna do my best. When you're ready, final 10 lunges for this round. 5 more. Last one. That's 30. Without sacrificing your form. That's one. That's 2. That's 3. I'm only gonna have like exactly 3 minutes left to complete this jump rope section, so I can't be tripping so much like I was in round 1, so wish me luck. I would really love to at least complete this second round before my time is up. Couple more deep breaths. When you're ready, here we go. 300 revolutions with the jump rope. All right, shake it off. I feel like I'm gonna cry. That's only 200. Obviously, I didn't trip that time. time, but just felt like I needed to rest, so final 100 reps. Here we go. That's our 30 minutes. That's part one. If you are not continuing on to part two and you're just doing this 30-minute AMRAP today, you are almost finished. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee, so you have just 1 rep left to go. If you are continuing on to part two with me, hang tight, we'll get to that in just a minute, but first I want to do a bonus burpee in solidarity with those of you who are not continuing on and doing part two with me. So if you would like to do a bonus burpee in solidarity as well before you do part two, feel free to join me. If not, just use this time to rest. But for those of you who are not continuing on, here we go. Here is your bonus burpee, your final rep of the day when you're ready. All right, so for those of you who are not doing part two, your workout is now officially complete. Please make sure that you are taking a good 15-20 minutes at least to stretch after the workout. As long as you get your stretching done at some point during the day, that is fine. But the best time to do it is right now, immediately after the workout, because your muscles are already nice and warm. So this is going to be the most effective time to get your stretching done. You're going to get the most out of the stretching, and you're also going to reduce your risk of overstretching or injuring yourself. If you wait until later on in the day to do your stretching, your muscles will be cold. So you're going to have to take a few minutes before you're stretching to warm them back up. And they're not going to be as warm as though you just finished a full-on 30-minute high-intensity workout. So you're just going to reduce your risk of pulling something if you do your stretching right after the workout while your muscles are still nice and warm. And whether you do your stretching right after your workout or later in the day, just make sure you're not overstretching. Make sure that you don't push your body into doing something it's not ready to do, but don't skip your stretching, because if you take the time to stretch, you're going to help to alleviate any muscle soreness you might feel tomorrow after a tough workout like this. You're also going to reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and you're going to improve your flexibility. So make sure you take a good 15-20 minutes or so to stretch, and then you can go ahead and have your shower, eat something, and get on with the rest of your day. Thank you very much for joining me today. And if you did this 30-minute AMRAP with me, please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Don't forget to give me a like and leave a comment. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, and feel free to share the video if you know anyone who is looking to get fit at home with little to no exercise equipment. So now, if you are continuing on and doing part two with me, go ahead and get your dumbbells ready. Once more, for reference and for reference only, I'm going to be using a set of 10-pound dumbbells for part two. So you may need to use something lighter or heavier. Please make the decision that is best for you. If you need a longer rest break, I've probably been talking for about 5 minutes. So if you need a longer rest break than that so that you can towel off, hydrate, let your heart rate come down a little more, normalize your breathing, maybe eat a half a banana or something if you're worried about cramping up, by all means, pause the video, take as long of a rest break as you need. Just challenge yourself to keep your rest break as short as you can, but remember to only come back when you feel that you're capable of doing so with good form. So when you feel strong enough, when your breathing has normalized and your heart rate is where you want it and you feel ready, then come back and let's go ahead and start on part 2. All right, so part 2, 3 exercises, 30 reps of each exercise, 3 rounds. Remember that this workout is being brought to you today by the number 3, which just led me to thinking that I should have split up the workout into 3 parts instead of just 2. So I just now decided that there's a part 3 to this workout. So keep that in mind. You can stick around and try part 3 with me if you want. If you don't have OCD and you're not obsessed with the number 3 being applied to every single individual aspect of this workout, then you don't have to worry about it. But I'm going to be doing a part 3, but we'll get to that after part 2, obviously. So our 3 exercises are going to be deadlifts, cross body hammer curls, and single arm overhead press with an oblique twist. All right, so I'm just going to walk you through the exercises as we're going. If you've done my workouts before, you've probably seen all of these exercises. They're all very simple, basic, straightforward exercises. So the first exercise is deadlifts. Again, remember that you want your shoulders away from your ears, so your shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted high. Keep those abs super tight. We're hinging at the hips. So you do not want to actively try to straighten your legs. Don't lock your knees out like this. You want to definitely have a nice bend to your knees. Shoulders back and down, chest is high, abs are tight, pushing the booty back. Keeping a soft bend to your knees. You're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty as you are simultaneously trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. You're hinging at the hips. Your spine is nice and elongated. Your back is flat and the weight is in your heels. As you do that, you are just going to be holding your dumbbells in front of you. Your palms will be facing the tops of your legs, so the backs of my hands are facing you. And I'm just going to let the weights fall down, keeping them close to my legs, and then I'm going to press my heels into the ground and reverse the movement to stand, hinging at the hips, keeping a soft bend to the knees, keeping my back flat, keeping the weight in my heels. So we're doing 30 reps. So just do your best. All right, so when you're ready to begin part 2, here we go. 30 deadlifts. That's 10. Rest if you need to. It's 15, we're halfway there. Just 10 more. It's 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, last one, and 30. So remember, if you don't have dumbbells, a kettlebell will work with that. For that exercise, you can even just use like a medicine ball. Any kind of weight will work. So household items will work as well. Water bottles or shampoo bottles, cans of soup, or your homemade sandbag. You can do that holding onto your sandbag as well. That would work just fine. Next is going to be cross body hammer curls. We're going to be curling the weights one at a time. So any kind of curl you want to do is fine. If you want to do regular bicep curls and curl both weights with each rep, that is totally up to you. You can do reverse curls or you can do hammer curls. So I'm going to be essentially doing hammer curls because that's the grip I'm going to have. So in my starting position, my hands are going to be facing the outsides of my legs, and the backs of my hands are going to be facing the walls on either side of me. And I'm just going to curl one weight up at a time. So it's the same way you would swing a hammer. That's why it's called a hammer curl. But instead of curling the weight up to the shoulder on the same side, I'm going to curl my weight toward the shoulder on the opposite side. And I'm just going to alternate arms with each rep. 30 reps all day, so it's going to end up being a total of 15 reps on each side, but we're alternating sides. So my feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. I have roots growing out of the bottom of my feet. My feet are planted into the ground. I am not actively straightening my legs. My legs are not straight, my knees are not locked out. I have a soft bend to my knees, my abs are tight, shoulders are back and down, away from the ears. And I'm just gonna curl one weight at a time up towards the opposite shoulder. So that's 3, 4, 5. We're going to 30, alternating sides with each rep, so do your best. That's 15, we're halfway there. Take a rest break if you need to. That's 20, 10 more. Kettlebell or medicine ball. You could also do this with just one dumbbell, okay? So you can just start with the weight down towards one side, and you can do all 15 reps on one side and then switch to the other side for your next 15 reps if you're holding on to one weight, like one dumbbell or a kettlebell or a medicine ball, or you can alternate sides with each rep, whatever works for you. Okay, third and final exercise is a single arm overhead press with a little oblique twist. So in my starting position, I'm going to have my weights up by my shoulders. My palms are facing you. The backs of my hands are facing the wall behind me. And then from here, I'm going to have my feet a bit wider than shoulder width apart. And I'm going to press one weight at a time up overhead. So just straightening the elbow and pressing the weight up overhead. So again, make sure your shoulders are not creeping up like this. It's gonna be really easy to let that happen on this exercise. So keep checking in with your posture. Make sure you're pushing your shoulders down and back. So remember to think about tucking your shoulder blades into your back pocket. As I press the weight up overhead, I'm going to pick up this heel. So the arm that's pressing the weight up overhead, I'm going to pick up the heel on that same side, and I'm going to rotate on my toes. So So that now that my toes of my standing foot are still facing more or less straight forward towards you, but the toes on this foot are facing this wall over here. And I'm just gonna feel this twist in my obliques as I turn my torso to face this wall. And then as I bring the weight back down, I'm going to pivot this foot back forward, pivoting on my toes again, and bring the weight back down to my shoulders. And we'll alternate sides with each rep. So now with the next rep, I'm going to press the opposite arm up overhead. I'm going to lift the heel on that same side, pivot on the toes so that my torso is now facing this wall. My toes are facing this wall. And now as I bring the weight back down to my shoulder, I'm going to pivot those on my toes, facing that foot forward again, return to my starting position. Alternating sides with each rep, 30 reps total. So it will end up being a total of 15 reps on each side. So when you're ready, here we go. So press the weight up overhead and twist to face the wall. Alternating sides with each rep, feeling that squeeze in your obliques. That's 4, 5, we're going to 30, so do your best. That's 20. 10 more. It's 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. I'm just now realizing that I forgot to start my timer. I started it now. There's no real point to really starting it now because it's not going to be the accurate time, but I just want to keep an eye on my time from here on out. So that was round 1. Let's pick up the pace now that you've seen all of the exercises. Oh, real quickly before we move on to round 2, let me just say that again, if you're using one dumbbell or if you're using a kettlebell or a medicine ball, then you can do, or you can also do this exercise with your sandbag or your homemade sandbag. I do this exercise with my sandbag all the time, but you can just hold the weight in front of you like this, whether it's a dumbbell, kettlebell, medicine ball, sandbag, household item, and just do the exact same exercise, but instead of pressing one arm at a time, you're gonna use both arms with each rep, and you'll just alternate sides for your oblique twist with each rep, but you'll still do 30 total reps, all right? So now, that's round 1. Let's see if we can pick up the pace a little bit. We're gonna complete 2 more rounds. So starting again with our deadlifts, when you're ready, 30 reps. It's 10. 15, we're halfway there. That's 25. Almost there, just 5 more. 26. 27. 28. 29, last one. That's 30. Shake it out. Next is our bicep curl, hammer curl, whatever curl variation you are doing. When you're ready, 30 reps. Halfway there. Five, 26, 27, 28, 29, last one. It's 30, shake it out. Final exercise is our single arm overhead press with an oblique twist, but if you are holding on to one weight, then forget about the single arm part. It's just an overhead press with an oblique twist. But you'll be using both arms to press your weight up overhead with each rep. Unless you want to just, you can hold on to your kettlebell or your one dumbbell and just stay on one side. Do the same exercise, but just stay on one side the whole time. Do 15 reps on one side, 15 reps on the other. It's totally up to you. Whatever works for you, but when you're ready, here we go. So, starting with the weights up by the shoulders, both toes are facing forward. That's 20, 10 more. $25. 26, 27, push, that's 28, just 2 more, 29, last one, and that's 30, weights down, shake it up, that's round 2, that took us a little over, well, took me a little over 7 minutes, so if I assume part 1 took me a little longer than 7 minutes because I was explaining and demonstrating the exercises, let's say we're at like 18 minutes right now. So that would be an average of 9 minutes per round. So let's try to finish, let's try to pick up the pace a little bit. Another 9 minutes would mean that it's 27 minutes has elapsed by the time we finish our final round. So let's see if we can aim to finish this final round in under 25 minutes. So it's about 6 minutes to complete the entire round. You're gonna have to push, so do your best, but don't sacrifice your form for speed. Remember, you should be going at your own pace. So when you're ready, here we go. Another 30 deadlifts. That's 10 for me. Halfway there. That's 20. Just 5 more. And then we're all done with these for the whole day. 26, 27, 28, 29, last one. That's 30. Next is curls. Thirty reps. As soon as you're ready. It's 15. Make sure you're controlling that movement. 25. 30. Did I just count? Why do I feel like that was only 20? I might have miscounted. If you know that was 30, you can move on. I'm not convinced it was 30. I'm gonna do another 10 just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That had to be at least 30. All right. All right, I have 1 more minute to make my last minute goal of finishing this last round in about 6 minutes. So let's go ahead and push. Final 30 reps. It's 10. It's 20, just 10 more. 21, 22, 23, 24. Feel that twist in your obliques. 25, 26, control the movement. 27, almost done. 28, 2 more. 29, last one. And 30. Weights down. Not bad. Assuming I spent about 10 minutes on round 1, because I was talking you through everything, finished in under 25 minutes, which was my goal, 24, 30-ish. So I don't know my exact time because I forgot to start my timer until we started round 2, so it's an estimate, but that is part 2. So, I told you at the start of the workout that there were only 2 parts. So if you want to stop here, that is absolutely fine. If you want to continue on to part 3, we're going to go right into part 3. So if you need to rest, if you need a rest break, pause the video, hydrate, towel off, come back when you're ready. If you're not continuing on to part 3, you have just 1 rep left to go. So I will again do a bonus burpee in solidarity with those of you who are not continuing on and doing part 3 with me. So if you are ending your workout here, you have just 1 rep left to go. Let's do a bonus burpee together, and then your workout will be officially complete when you're ready. Here we go. Final rep of the day. All right, so if you're done, you're not doing part 3, go ahead and take a good 15 minutes to stretch. Then you can go ahead and have your shower, eat some lunch, get on with the rest of your day. If you are continuing on with me, again, pause the video if you need a few minutes to rest and hydrate and towel off before we begin part 3. And then just come back when you're ready. For part 3, I'm going to be holding on to just 1 dumbbell. So again, this is 10 pounds. You may need to use something lighter or heavier, so make the decision that's best for you. You can also do this with a kettlebell, or you can do it with a household item like shampoo bottle or a water bottle or a can of soup. We're just doing Russian twists. So you can do this exercise without any added weight. Just lift your heels up off the mat if you can, and then twist and tap, twist and tap. So you're twisting your body thoracically, and tap the mat with your fingers if you can. If your range of motion does not allow you to reach all the way down to tap the mat, that's fine. Just come as close to the mat as you can. But each twist is 1 rep. So you're counting like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am going to have my heels elevated off the mat the whole time, but it's easier to have your heels on the mat. So if you're a beginner, you can just do the same exercise with your heels on the mat. You can also like alternate. So like you can start with your heels up, and then if it gets too taxing, you can put them down. Then when you feel like you've gained enough strength, you can try a few more with your heels elevated. So just make the decision that's best for you. I'm just going to be doing that exact same thing while holding on to my dumbbell. So I'm going to have one hand on either side of the dumbbell. I'm going to lift my heels, and I'm going to just twist and tap the dumbbell down on the mat to either side of me. Each twist counts as 1 rep. You probably saw this coming already. We're doing 300, all right? So it's gonna be tough. I am going to probably break them up into sets of 50. So do your best, but we're gonna be doing 300 all day. This is our final little burnout, our little oblique finisher. And then, I promise, no more parts. Parts 1, 2, and 3, that's our workout brought to you by threes. 3 parts, and of everything we're doing either a 30-minute AMRAP or 3 rounds. We're doing either 3 reps or 30 reps or 300 reps. So I told you in the beginning, I love my patterns, I love symmetry. So here we go, when you're ready, part 3. So lift the heels up off the mat, and now you're just gonna twist and tap with the dumbbell, twist and tap. That's 2 reps. We're going to 300, so do your best. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Twist and tap, twist and tap. That's 10. $30. 40. And 50. So if you're able to keep going, you can keep going, but like I said earlier, I'm going to break mine up into sets of 50 for as long as I can manage sets of 50. And if I get to the point where I can no longer manage sets of 50, then I'll do 30 and 20, or just start doing little sets of 10. Whatever I need to do to get it done. But that was my first 50, so I'm just taking a minute to rest here, and then I'm gonna try to do another 50 without stopping if I can. So remember to go at your own pace, work to your own level, so heels down on the mat if you need to, drop to a lighter weight if you need to, drop the weight altogether if you need to, all right? Just make the decision that's best for you. If you need a longer rest break, take it. When you're ready and you feel like you have enough strength to continue with good form, let's go ahead and start on our next set of 50 and see if I can do another 50 unbroken. That's what I'm gonna go for. All right, when you're ready. Just 10 more. That's 100. All right. We're a third of the way there. Shake out my hands because my fingers get tired of gripping the weights for so long. And of course I'm feeling my obliques, but this exercise is really taxing on my quads because it just takes a lot of effort to hold that kind of boat position for so long. So my quads need a rest as much as anything else, or if not more. All right, I am going to see if I can continue with sets of 50. This sun, I'm always racing this sunbeam and it is catching up to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on my next set of 50. Hopefully I can continue doing sets of unbroken sets of 50. That's what I'm gonna go for. So I'm picking up my count at 100. When you're all ready, here we go. I'm gonna call that 10. Wait, I think I'm double counting these. Oh my gosh, okay. Shake it off. I'm a scatterbrain. I started getting bitten by a mosquito and it just completely threw me off my game. I'm gonna start that whole set over because I don't know what I'm doing. I think I was double counting them. All right, here we go. Pick up my count at 100 and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20. 30. 40. 50. Go away. I don't want you to come down under there. There's a cricket under there. And I'm trying to shoot it into the alley. Go away. I know it's gonna set up camp down there and keep me awake all night. I hate crickets. All right, so I probably ended up doing, well, I definitely ended up doing more than 50 reps that time, but I'm only counting it as 50. Did you go away or are you hiding on me? All right. What are crickets doing crawling around during the day anyway? Aren't they supposed to be sleeping? All right. That last set of 50 unbroken. If I count those first reps, like, it doesn't matter. The point is, I think I might still be able to continue with sets of 50, so I'm going to try to do another set of 50 unbroken if I can. So when you're ready, here we go. I'm picking up my count. I'm so distracted by this cricket, but I think it went into the alley. I hope. Picking up my count at 150. So I'm gonna see if I can get to 200. Before I have to stop and rest again. So when you're ready, here we go. 90. So that's 200 for me. My quads are shaking. Every day I'm racing this sunbeam, and the sunbeam always seems to win. All right. I know I could just switch directions and face that way, but I'm a creature of habit. I always face this way when I do Russian twists, so, you know. It's not easy being me. Okay, I have, assuming I can continue with sets of 50, then I only have 2 more sets to go, so I'm going to do my best when you're ready. Here we go. Again, I count at 200. We're getting there. 10. 20. 30. 40. 'That was rep number 250. So these parts 2 and 3 of the workout together. Again, I don't know the exact time because I forgot to start my watch when we first, or start my timer when we first started. There's been about 40 minutes-ish, give or take. So these parts 2 and 3 together are gonna end up taking me about 45 minutes and then 30 minutes for part 1. So a little over an hour, about an hour 15 minutes for the whole thing, not including, took about a 5-minute rest break in between parts 1 and 2. So still the whole thing is under like 90 minutes, I think, so not bad. So I just have 50 reps left to go. 51 reps really, because I still have to do 1 final bonus burpee, but 50 more reps of Russian twists. So I probably will not push myself to do all 50 at once. I'll probably take at least 1 little rest break. So maybe I'll do 30 and 20, or I might just rest before I finish my last 10. We'll see how I feel. Because we're just about there, so I'm not worried about it at this point. It's just gonna be another couple minutes. We'll get them done. Last 50 reps. That's 60. 70. 80, let's keep going. 10 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, take it out. My timer says 32 minutes and 35 seconds. So again, I'm estimating that round 1 of part 2 took me about 10 minutes. So adding 10 minutes to that, a little over 30 minutes, 32, 30, something in that neighborhood for parts 2 and 3 combined. So including the rest break in between parts 1 and 2, the whole thing took us less than 90 minutes. So I'm good with that. All right, we are not quite finished yet. As you know, no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpees, so we have just 1 rep left to go. But first, it is time for the McFlurry Minute. I am going to reset my timer to count down 60 seconds for me. I'm going to jump rope for 60 seconds, and if I can make it through the entire 60-second work interval without tripping over my jump rope, everybody wins a free McFlurry. So give me just a minute to reset my timer. I will be right back. All right, my timer has been reset. Rude Becca is ready to go. Rude Becca is my adorable black jump rope with the little white skulls on the handles. And for those of you who have asked me where I get my jump ropes, I will leave a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video, so click on the link and use coupon code RudeBecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. We have a streak going of 3 successful McFlurry Minutes in a row. We are trying to make it 4 in a row today, but you guys, if you watched part 1 of the workout, you know that there's a very strong likelihood that this is not going to happen today. You know I'm gonna do my best. It's so hot out here. I really, really want to eat ice cream for lunch, and I really, really don't want to have to pay for it. So rest assured, I'm going to do my very, very, very best to not trip over Rude Becca and get us all some free ice cream, but I'm nervous. So please wish me luck. We are starting, as always, with a 10-second rest interval. I know hopefully in just about 60 seconds from now, we can all meet at McDonald's and enjoy some free ice cream for lunch. Here we go. Came through. We did it. I don't know how I managed to pull that off. I think we owe it all to Rude Becca, but I did not trip. So that is 4 successful McFlurry Minutes in a row. Free ice cream all around. Thank you, Rude Becca. And if you're wondering why I kept going after my timer beeped, it's because I'm always counting the reps in my head. And typically by the time my timer beeps, and we've reached the end of our 60-second work interval, I'm usually right around rep like 170 or so. So I always just keep going, and I do an even 200 reps. rather than stopping on some random odd number in between. I always just figure, just keep going until I hit 200 reps, and then that's a nice round number, and that's my little jump rope bonus. But today, since, say it with me, today's workout was brought to you by the number 3, and everything was 3s, and because I was so frustrated after part 1, after not being able to not only string together a set of 300 with my jump rope, but even string together like a set of 100 with my jump rope. I figured, why not go ahead and see if I can make it to 300 revolutions of the rope for my jump rope bonus, because that's in keeping with our theme of 3s. And it would help to alleviate some of my frustration. I could finish the workout on a high note knowing that yes, I can complete 300 revolutions with my jump rope without tripping. So that's why I kept going, and I do feel much better after that jump rope bonus, because that was a nice 300 reps, 300 unbroken reps with my jump rope, so hallelujah. All right, so now we have just 1 rep left to go. Even if you did 1 or 2 bonus burpees already in solidarity, if you continued on and you did all parts 1, 2, and 3 with me, that means that your workout continued after you did those previous bonus burpees. So you still have 1 rep left to go. Your bonus burpee is always the last thing you do. It's always your final rep of the day. So let's go ahead and do our final bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. Here we go. Final rep of the day, I promise. No more surprise parts added onto the workout, no more bonuses. When you're ready, here we go. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear with the format of today's workout, how it all fits together, how you can customize it, if you have any questions about the exercises we were doing today, any doubts at all about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions, if you need to see beginner modifications, I'm right here to help, so please just ask. That is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's kind of secret code phrase of the day. I've said it several times, but if you don't know it's the secret code phrase of the day, you won't know to go down to the comment section and leave me a comment that says, this workout was brought to you by the number 3 and the letter F, because it was a tough workout. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please, again, let me know that someone out there is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, this workout was brought to you by the number 3 and the letter F. That is going to do it for today, and I will see you all next time. Bye.